To all the geeks and nerds out there, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Logic, and I'm back from my holiday, back from my vacation to the sunny island, the sunny Spanish island of Tenerife, and yeah, back. Had a lot of fun, had a lot of relaxing time by the pool with the family, and yeah, I'm ready to get back into this thing. Had a lot of time to think about things and do some planning, and yeah, we are ready to go. So I've got a massive list of stuff I want to do in preparation for episode 100, which is fast approaching, only a few episodes to go before we get there, and yeah, I've got a plan. So we're going to try and get through as many jobs as we can today. Today's going to be one of those episodes where we have a whole bunch of odd jobs to do, and preparation to sort of tidy things up, clean things up, and yeah, see how we get on. Now you might be wondering why I've got a load of logs here. This is not a new floor design for the Death Star. This is because we need a bunch of these strip logs because we are going to make a bunch of new items. Well, kind of new anyway, I guess. So let's get into this. We are going to build some campfires. Now, what do we need these for? Well, let's head on over to the mob farm and I'll show you. And as we fly over the entrance to our city, we are greeted by this desert, and as it loads in, there it is our mob farm. Now we've got quite a few new people in the community, so some people may not have seen this. So yeah, inside here, inside this spaceship is a mob farm, just a general purpose one, kind of flashing style. So mobs will fall down if we've got an AFK spot right up there, and mobs will fall down out of this booster rocket. Land. There we go. There's a few there falling down, and they'll land on this magma blocks here, and their items get picked up underneath. But yeah, this spaceship is creating this big old crater here, and I think what I want to do here is I want to use some of these campfires to add a bit more dynamics, and yeah, get some smoke in here because we've got lots of fire and lava and things like that, but not a lot of smoke. So I think yeah, if we add a few of these here and there, that would be pretty cool. So let's hopefully not die while we do this, but I think if we knock out a couple of blocks and maybe add one of these hay bales, then a campfire, and then a block on top, that shouldn't stop the smoke coming up. Now if we move over here a little bit, let's see how that one looks. Oh yeah, look at that, not too bad. All right, so I think if we add a few of these here and there, that will definitely improve this, just in terms of just the looks, just a bit of aesthetics, if you like. So a few of these I'll add the hay bales underneath to get the bigger smoke, and some I'll just leave without, just so we get kind of different levels. Yeah, I think that'll really improve this. So right, let me get started. Let me get some more of these smokes in, and get smokes in. Wow. Oh man, I'm back to my holiday. Need to get back into this, but yeah, let's get some more of these campfires in, and yeah, see how this looks. What do you think of this? I think this is a big improvement. So let's just land here and have a quick look around. Look at that. That looks much better. So much better. I'm not sure what it is. It's just that extra little bit of detail just kind of brings this whole thing to life, and the mob's still falling out. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So we've got yeah, various sort of heights. I've added a few that don't have the hay bales underneath, a few that do. And yeah, I think this is looking pretty cool. All right, so that's job number 1 done. Nice, easy one to start with. So yeah, let's head on over to the ziggurat. So over here is our city, which is just next door. And our centerpiece here is this big ziggurat in the middle. And that holds our portal and also a map of the city. Now, obviously, the city needs a lot more work. That's still work in progress. But there is something in here I'd like to change as well. So let's pop in here. This is our kind of entry room. So this portal takes us back to our nether, where we can obviously go around the rest of the world. And in here, we have this map. And this is a map of the city as it stands currently. So let's move back a little bit. There we go. So that is the city, but we can't see the mob farm. The mob farm is kind of here, I guess, that kind of place. So I wonder if this would look better if we just expand this map out a little bit so we can see the mob farm itself, and maybe move this over and see how that looks. So let me get some maps ready and yeah, get mapping. So I'm not entirely sure how many maps we're going to need. So I've just nabbed this one off of the wall. This is one that's in the center, kind of the center off of our city gate. So if we go over here a bit, and I've got a bunch more maps over here. So let's take this one. That should be the center one, I think. I showed this one. Oh, look at that. So that's the mob farm. Obviously, that big grey blocks. That's the kind of top of the mob farm, and there's our AFK point right up there. So that's pretty cool. All right. So we definitely need at least one. Okay, so that's one along. I think maybe if we do 2 along, then we can probably center that on the wall properly. So let's keep going this way a bit until we get to the edge of this map, and then yeah, then we can add some more on the other side and then get it on the wall. So into the forest, and then we do that. Bam. Okay, so that is one more over in the center. So I'm kind of laying these out here. So I think we're just going to need to do an extra 6. So I've got those 2. So then we just get mapping with these other 4 maps, and then we can get it on the wall. So here is the expanded map. Just got to put in the last one right here. There it is. All right, not too bad, not too bad. I think that looks pretty good. Now, obviously, here we've got some issues with the terrain. So we had some chunk issues here for people that are new to the channel. So we've done a bit of work there to kind of smooth that out. But obviously, we can see these kind of stark lines here. So yeah, we'll get those smoothed out at some point in the future for sure. And get that improved. We've started down here. You can see we did there's our beacon, so we can mine that stuff out. We were doing that on stream, so we'll come back to that and improve it. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So here we can see just how far away the mob farm is from the city. And I think as the city develops, obviously we're going to work on this, and maybe there's some lore we can add here, maybe some stuff in between these two. Maybe there's some kind of a relationship between the aliens that are coming down in that spaceship and the city over here. But that's something we can work on as we go on. So that's job number 2 all done. So let's head on over to the Nether and get to the next job. And there is the imposing eye, the Eye of Sauron in the Nether. So yeah, we're going to head into the castle because there's a little bit of a job I want to do in here, one that I've had on my list for a little while. So let's pop down here and yeah, into the basement we go. And you can see that this place is pretty black. So there's not much colour in here. We've got a little bit of wood here and there's a bit more up here, but I think what I'd like to do, probably not up here. I think this is probably all right for the time being because we've got the portals there that adds a bit of colour, a bit of interest, but down here certainly there's a bit too much black here for my liking. And I think what I want to do now is, now that we've got access to this red nether brick, probably get a little bit of that in here just to make this room a little bit more interesting. I'm not going to go too overboard with it, just a bit of it here and there, and yeah, see how it turns out. So let me get started, get some of these blocks placed, and yeah, see how it turns out. I've done some work in the basement and it's not turned out exactly as I hoped. So let's pop down here, and as you can see there's not that much red nether brick, and that's because it is far too red. I tried putting stuff in the floor in various patterns. I even tried like having some letters to denote the direction, like an S here for example for south, but it's just too red. It's just too red, didn't really fit in. I think probably the ideal block would be the original nether brick kind of texture, that kind of dark purple, that kind of wine colour. I think that would have been ideal, but of course we've changed the texture of that to be black and we don't have a good option. So yeah, that didn't really work out. So I thought instead what we do is we just use it for the doorways here, these kind of entrances, to make it obvious where the exits are to this kind of mini hub area in the basement. And I still was a bit unhappy with the floor because it's just solid black and not very interesting. And because these are bottom slabs, it's a bit difficult to do sort of height variations and things like that. So just followed through with the dark oak down here just to kind of break this up a little bit. I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with it, but I think it's better than just having like a solid black floor, and I think that's probably okay for now. But I did find out one thing that's not so good as well, and that is that previously we could have these hoppers, we could light fire on top of them, but in 1.14 you can't do that. So I put these down here. These ones I was going to light these ones as well, but yeah, if you try and light them with a flint and steel on the top, it doesn't catch fire. So I think you can only light flammable objects now, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think it's a bit better. Not as good as I hoped, but I want to move on to the next job, and yeah, this is definitely an improvement. So the next job is actually over here, so still in the same area, and that is this thing. So this is quite a simple thing, but this is a way that we've used in Minecraft for quite some time, where we can right click on a minecart that's up here and we end up here. Now normally you could just press shift and it would teleport you out of the minecart onto a block next door, and if we do that, we fall down. So this is a change in 1.14. So I want to just rearrange this a little bit to get that to work, just so that's a little less annoying than it is now, because now I have to press forward, press shift, and then I end up on the ladder, and then I can walk up. So you can do it, but it's a little bit fiddly. So I'm going to fix this up and yeah, see what I can do to make that work. This is the tunnel to our blaze farm, and I'm over here because this also uses some minecart elevators, and my solution unfortunately is not so elegant. It's some scaffolding, because I spent a bit of time in creative as well as in my survival world to try and work out how to fix these minecart elevators, the exit at least, and I can't work it out. So I tried a whole bunch of things, but it seems like if there's not a solid block or not a solid face underneath the minecart, then you just glitch through it and yeah, fall through. So if anyone knows how to fix those elevators, I'd prefer to have the minecart version, because yeah, these are not all that great, but at least we've got a way up that's at least quite easy to use, even though it's a bit slower and not so much fun, I guess. But yeah, got that done over here, as well as over by the minecart where we were before, over by the castle. So that was all good. So we are done in the nether for now. It's now time to go over to the end, because I've got a few jobs over there to fix up. So let's head on over through the piston bolt and get some stuff done. The next job is over there at the Enterprise, so let's head on over and have a nice fly through here through the pylons, and then turn around and land here in the docking bay. Nice. All right, go through our standard red door, and what we need to do here is we need to go into our secret entrance that takes us to the bridge. And yeah, what we need to work on is this thing over here, because this elevator is not so reliable. If I just walk in like this, it kind of does this flicky thing, and I'd end up sneaking through the block. Ah, let's get out of here. There we go. So yeah, I need to improve the reliability of this. And I think this is because, yeah, my redstone is not so great down here. I think this I threw together super quick and didn't really test it properly, and it didn't really work. So I think down here, let's have a look. How does it work? Need to remind myself. Yeah, so, all right, got a bunch of repeaters to get a delay. Probably not the greatest idea. Okay, so I think I'm going to just rip all of this out and find a more reliable way just to do this, because that's super annoying, and yeah, that needs to be much more reliable. So let me rig something up that's a bit better, and I'll show you what I got. And with this redstone torch right here, that should be it. And what I've done is I've replaced what we had before, took it all out, and I've replaced it with just these 4 comparators, which gives us a fade out clock. So the pressure plate is right there, and that powers this redstone dust, and then that will go into this fade out clock. And so that means that as soon as we step on the pressure plate, there's a tiny delay because of the comparators and the torch, but pretty much instantly the soul sand will come across, and that gives us the bubbles up. Now this fade out clock will then keep this powered, which depowers this long enough for us to get to the top. So let's give it a try. So I'm just going to walk forward, stand here, shoot up. We can get out nice and easily, and if we turn around and come back, it's already gone back to the down state. So that is all good. All right, so just got to cover this back up again. I think that is good to go. All right, awesome. Right, doing quite a few jobs today. This is good stuff. Good stuff. Right, we've got another job to do in the end, so let's head on over to the next one. And that one is back this way, so we're going to fly around here, and it's back over here at the Millennium Falcon, in fact. Now this is a job that's been on my list for well over a year, and I've kind of been putting it off because I'm not very good at internals, but we need to deal with this place. We need to improve it. Yeah, it's not very good at all. So yeah, we need to get rid of all these torches. We need to just make this a bit more Falcon-like on the inside, and yeah, clean up some of this mess. So we've got a bunch of stuff here, got some water here for no reason, some flowers and stuff from when I was dyeing things, that kind of stuff. So we've got this concrete maker here, and I use this all the time, so I'm going to keep that here. And the reason this over here is because there's virtually no lag over here at all compared to over at the Death Star. Sometimes it does get a bit laggy, and that can affect how these things work. So I'm going to keep this over here. And yeah, I'm going to look up some photos of how the Millennium Falcon looks inside, and try and get it to be kind of like that. I mean, obviously we've got a bit of a constraint here because we've got this big black obsidian, which we can't do much about. So yeah, let's see what I can do. My internals are not my forte. That's one of the reasons why I've been putting it off. But we've got to bite the bullet and give it a go. So let's see what I can do. And yeah, let's get on with it. After many an hour working on this thing, I finally have a direction that I think I'm happy with, and I think we're going to get somewhere. But let me talk you through it. I mean, it may not look like much, but it's got it where it counts. So this is the general idea. Obviously, we spawn in here on the obsidian. Not much we can do about that. That's part of the game. And above it, this kind of area above will also get reset. So we're a bit constrained there. But the idea is we'll walk up these stairs once we've spawned in, and we'll get to this point here. Now, this grey concrete here and the space in between, this bit here, this is going to be a corridor that goes around in a circle all the way around like that. That's what the Falcon has. I've been looking at some blueprints, and yeah, got that down, I think. Now obviously the corridors in the Falcon are also circular in terms of their profile, so we're going to have some stairs on the side to kind of give it that round feel as best we can. Now also a little bit constrained with color palette. Now in the solo films, the Falcon is all brand new and it's all white inside, but when we get to the later films era, which is what this is based on, it's a bit dirtier, and it's actually a little kind of a bit of a beigey color. Now I tried some sort of yellow stairs, you know, like sandstone, that kind of stuff, but didn't really work, I don't think. And so we're going to go with some grey stairs. So we're going to change this up to get some variation in, but that's the general idea. I think that's going to be all right. And we're going to be walking on these things, some of these trapdoors that we can open, because this is obviously where we smuggle ourselves underneath. When the stormtroopers come up, we need to hide away. You know, we built those things. Never thought I'd be smuggling myself in them, but it's useful to have, you know. So yeah, that is the plan. And then once we outside of the corridor, we're going to have entryways into some rooms. So we're going to have a room here. This could be like a viewing gallery. We can look out the window and see what's coming up. And likewise at the back, that's more like the engine room. This is where we go our concrete maker. So we might have some other contraptions. So I might leave this area empty for some other things like this that might come in the future. And over this way, I've moved this ladder so it's directly in front of us. So that's our way out of the hatch at the top hatch. And over this way, this is where we get to our cockpit. So again, this is going to be a corridor, this kind of diagonal corridor that leads out to here. Now, obviously, we've already got Chewie and Han, and I've moved our cat over here. So he's going to be named a bit later on. Got a name all lined up for him. So that's all going to be good. So I think it's kind of going to work out. Not sure about how I'm going to detail the rooms and things. I might leave them for future expansion, for other contraptions, that kind of thing. Just want to get at least the corridors in place so it's kind of presentable. So yeah, let me get a bit more progress done, and then yeah, you can check it out. Looks like we're coming up on Alderaan, so I better finish up my game of chess and make sure all my moves are fair, and don't scream about it if it all goes wrong. So this is the room at the front, just with our window here so we can see where we're going. And yeah, this is just a couple of chairs here and a table, a couple of tables here, so a good use of scaffolding, one of the few uses for it. So that's the room there, and here is our corridor that goes all the way around. So this goes around in a circle, and you see I've tried to use stairs here to give it a kind of a circular feel, but I think it's okay. But I think I have struggled a little bit with this, to be honest with you, but I think I need a bit of help with the interior. So I've tried to swap out these blocks so it's not just the stone which it was before, so it's a little bit more interesting. Use these blast furnaces for a bit of detail, so that's pretty cool. And at the back we've got our concrete maker, just swapped out the iron with some glass, so it makes it a bit more interesting, and just made this into an actual room rather than just a big expanse. That's all cool. Obviously we've got rid of all the torches, which is a key goal for today, and everything's all lit up, so there's no Enderman can spawn in here. And we've got our new crew member, Lando Calrissian. He's there helping out the guys fly this thing. And yeah, so this is how it's looking. So this is where we spawn in. Now with the whenever you spawn in here, the game will clear out a 3-high space, and then it's this 5x5, so we can't build anything inside here. But apart from that, I think it's looking all right. So yeah, I think I have struggled, as I said, with this. My interiors are not my forte, but yeah, if you've got any suggestions of some extra things we could add here, some extra details, so get them onto Twitter. So send me a screenshot on Twitter, or get onto our plot world. Details are in our Discord, and then you can maybe build something up, and I'll go over and take a look. And here's our top hatch, so we can get out here and fly off and do something else. All right, so I think we've got time for maybe 1 or 2 more really small jobs. So let's head on over to the Death Star and see what is next. The next job is to make a small adjustment to our villager trading hall, and this is the one we built last time, and actually since then Mumbo actually built the same one, so he used our design, and actually looking at his video gave me an idea. There was one thing that I liked what he did. Well, I liked everything he did, of course, but there was one thing in particular, and that was the door to the booth that we have here. So we have it where it's always open, but when we come in and stand on this pressure plate, it closes behind us to block the pathfinding. Now, actually, what Mumbo does is he has this closed all the time, and obviously only opens it to allow access to get in and out. And I think that's a better way to do it, because actually what I was finding was when I was actually trading with these guys and trying to change the profession, I was actually putting a block there on purpose to kind of block pathfinding and things like that, so people don't these villagers don't end up picking the wrong workstation. So I think I want to do that. So I think I'm going to change how this works and take this out and have a door here that's always closed unless you try and get into it. So yeah, let's start breaking this out and see what I can come up with. And with that, it's all done. So here it is, and here is the pressure plate on the outside. So we stand on this, opens up. We can go inside, it closes behind us, there we go. And now we can cycle the workstations to get the trades we want from the villager at the right time. And when we want to leave, we just stand on this pressure plate and it opens, and out we go. Much better. Now, most of the time I spent on this was actually trying to cover up the pistons in a way that wasn't too bulky. I didn't want to have like lots of solid blocks here, so I tried to cover it up. So I think kind of works. You can obviously see the sticky piston on there, but kind of from the front, not too bad. And just how it works underneath is pretty straightforward. Let's break some of this stuff. Hopefully you can see it. I've got a bit of scaffolding now I need to clear up. But yeah, just underneath here there is the pressure plate, which powers this piece of redstone dust. Goes into this repeater on a bit of a delay, so we get time to walk in and out without it closing on us. And that goes into this redstone torch, which is powering the piston on this side. Now exactly the same on that side, except there's a block below the piston. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Now I think I probably lost all those blocks, so I need to pick them up and repair this, and then we can get on to the last job of the episode. And for the last job, we are up here at level 10 of the Death Star, right at the very top. And yeah, we're going to go into our villager breeder right here, and you can see we've got a few villagers ready to go, so we need to get them into the trading hall at some point. We've got a few slots ready for them, but the job we're going to do is to get rid of this ladder. Last episode I had a comment, I had a suggestion from Jonas Albertson, and he said that the ladders are not very good. We need to use bubble columns really. That would be much more interesting, and then I guess we can have a drop down to get down, so that makes it much easier and faster to get up and down this thing. So just a minor tweak to make that more interesting. Now I do want to turn this into a room where we can actually sort of see these things properly, check on the villagers, make sure everything is good and working. Obviously we can see the items go passing by, maybe look down there and stuff like that, see some things in action, kind of the behind the scenes, and probably have like a viewing window here, maybe sort of with some access so we can get over here and easily get over to the sorters if we need to. So but we're not going to do that today. I don't think we're going to have time for that, so let's get this bubble column in and yeah, get this last thing done. And there they are, all done. Very straightforward. The ladder has now gone and we can nice and easily get up. There we go, that was quick. And of course we can go down again on this side. Very straightforward, no problem at all. So on this side we don't necessarily need to have the magma block, that kind of thing. We could just drop down, but I thought it'd be better just to have the pair. Kind of think it looks nicer, looks better. We kind of have these two there. So there we go, all done. Now one thing to mention is that I had a lot of good suggestions about what we should do about the ceiling of the hangar. I've not done anything with that yet. Now one thing I was gonna maybe attempt this episode was to make a start on this, but yeah, we've run out of time on that front. But yeah, I have a plan for this, and we are going to need to build a farm. Yes, there's a block we're going to need, and we're going to build a farm for it because we don't have one at the moment, and that is going to come in the future. So my buddy White Rabbit, who designed this room in the first place, came through, sent me a couple of options that we could do, and I think I know what I'm going to do now. So yeah, that is to come in a future episode, and hopefully we'll get that done before episode 100. That is my plan. So this is all done and finished off. So that is all good. So with that said, let's hop down here. And it's time to add a new name to the Hall of Fame family. Now, this person has been diligently going through all the previous episodes from episode 1 and commenting on every single one in a very constructive way. So thank you for that. And it's got a little bit of time before he catches up to this episode. So he won't realise this until, I guess, until he gets there. But the new name in the Hall of Fame is Luis Castro. So welcome to the Hall of Fame, buddy. And yeah, just let me know once you get here what head you would like, and we'll get it for you. No problem at all. So one of the other things I wanted to do today was to catch up with some of the heads. So I don't think we've got any. In fact, let me just check. Do we have any heads we can put on? And the short answer is no, we don't. Just wanted to check my list. I didn't think we did, but yeah, we've still got to go out hunting for some heads, so we'll do that as well in a future episode. That was something else I wanted to get done today, so I had a big list. In fact, there was a few more things on my list as well I wanted to do, but time has run away. Just got back from holiday yesterday, and yeah, tried to wrap this one up in a day so we can get it out on the usual Sunday schedule. So that is that. Now, next episode, here's a little teaser for you. I'm going to be spending a long time planning the next episode, and in fact, next episode might even span 2 episodes for the build we've got planned. We've got a big one coming. A new ship is going to be added to the fleet outside. So, in the comments, what ship is coming? I tell you, it's a big one. And that about does it for another episode. So if you enjoyed it, then please hit the like button. And if you are new, then feel free to subscribe. And if you've got any comments or suggestions, then get it in that comment section. All right, my geeks, until next time, I will see you later.